Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Wardina Nabila Farizan. My matrix number is 2022831192. And today I will present about descriptive statistical measure and hypothesis testing about unemployment rate in Malaysia between 1991 until 2022. So let me start with the introduction. So what is unemployment rate? Unemployment rate is the percentage of labor force without a job. So it is generally rises or fall in the wake of changing economic condition rather than anticipating them. When the economy is in a poor condition and job are scarce, the unemployment rate can be expected to rise. So while if the economy grows at a healthy rate and there are plentiful of jobs, it can be expected to fall. So based on the data from our World in Data, unemployment rate in Malaysia have been rises since 2018 until 2022. So basically measured unemployment rate for 2019 was 3.26% and has been increased to 4.54% in 2020. This is because the COVID-19 has been affected worldwide. So however, the unemployment rate has been decreased slightly in 2021, which is 4.05% and decreased until 3.73% in 2022. Next, let's move on to the interpretation of descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics aim is to provide a general understanding of the unemployment rate in Malaysia by compiling and assessing the rate of unemployment that have been reported. So based on this, we can ascertain whether there has been a rise or fall in the rate of unemployment in Malaysia from 1991 to 2022 by performing the descriptive statistic on this data. So additionally, this analysis is to aim to determine whether the patterns are positive or negative and whether they are pose serious issue for the nation. Next, we move on for the first interpretation. So the first interpretation is mean. So the average of the data has been prepared for a specific range is called a mean. So it is a value that we could obtain by flattening or smoothing all the various data value into a single dependable value. So the mean is computed by taking the total value of the data set and dividing it by the total number of the data set. So according to my data about unemployment rate, so the average number of unemployment rate in Malaysia is 3.390. So the second one is median. The data set median is its middle value. So this number divide the data set in half or into equal size groups. So value that are greater than or equal to the median that are found in one of the half data, where value that are less than or equal to the median that are found in other half. So we must order the values from a least to greatest order to find the median. So next, take the two middle data points and calculate the data average. So therefore, the median for unemployment rate in Malaysia is 3.3400. The third is we call it as a mode. Mode is the value data, the value in the data set that happen most frequently. So a data set has no mode if every value only appears once. So a data set could be nevertheless also contain more than one mode. So based on my report, so the data set reported value is 3.650 and it occurs on 1991. Next is the variance and the standard deviation. So the amount of variation in a distribution is measured using a standard deviation. So while the values with a high standard deviation are deepest over a wide range, those with low standard deviation are closer to the mean. So the value for the sample variance and standard deviation are 0.168 and 0.416 respectively. Next, we have a cortices. So basically cortices is used to determine how the value distributed around the mean. So cortices normal distribution is typically mesopractic or around 3. Approximately 3 is the recommended value. So the cortices value for my data is 1.543. Next, move on to the skewness. So skewness is the third moment of the distribution. The result of this skewness will be either positive or negative. However, I want I would tend toward a positive skewness with a higher probability of significantly good returns on the right hand of the distribution. So for my data, the skewness value for unemployment rate in Malaysia is positive, which is 0.239. So the last interpretation is minimum and maximum. So the data set with the greatest value is referred to the maximum, and its lowest value is called the minimum. So sorting the data set in ascending order makes it too easy to find this value. So as a result, the lowest value in this data is 2.450, which represent the percentage of unemployment rate in Malaysia during the 1997, while the data set maximum value of unemployment rate in Malaysia correspond to 2020, which is 4.5. Next, let's go to the hypothesis testing. So to ascertain whether the result of an experiment we need use to the hypothesis testing. So an argument that challenges two claims and aims to determine the significance of one or more population parameters is called hypothesis. So there are 5 steps to testing the hypothesis. So we cannot conduct the test until the alternative hypothesis H1 and null hypothesis HO have been established. So since I'm only analyzing the direct data for this study, which is the number of unemployment rate in the Malaysia. However, in this situation where there are differences between the things being compared, so it must choose the two-tailed test that might be the appropriate one. So a two-tailed test can be compared the unemployment rate in the Malaysia with another nation like Singapore. So without using a direct data approach, two-tailed test is to seek and identify positive or negative differences between the two groups. This is because one-tailed tests have a higher statistical significance than two-tailed tests, so they are probably going to be important. Next step is by choosing the test statistic. Z-test and T-test statistic are the two different forms of the test statistics. Which test statistics are used depends on the types of the hypothesis test. So if we are aware of the true value, we must use the Z-test statistic. So if not, we need to use the T-test statistics. So I choose the T-test statistics because I'm not sure of the true value of the test. So I need to find the average of unemployment rate first in order for this formula to be functioned. So the average rate of unemployment in Malaysia from 1991 to 2022 is 3.390%, and the standard data deviation. So the conclusion is the utilization of descriptive statistics and hypothesis testing is crucial for the analysis of a given data set. So the basic information about the variable values in the data set is presented in a way that is easy for people to understand using descriptive statistics. So in the meantime, the purpose of hypothesis testing is to determine whether the claimed value of a parameter is true or whether there is adequate evidence to support the data. That's all from me. Thank you.